Hey everybody, it's Mark Schultzer with Digital Aircraft, and I'm very excited to be here today doing an interview first thing in the morning at the MRO Americas here in Atlanta for 2023. And I'd like to introduce to you a friend of mine. Go ahead, if you can tell us who you are and what do you do.
Sure. So thanks, Mark. My name is Frank Stevens. I'm the Global Vice President of MRO Centers for Embraer. I have a unique position in the company. I get to oversee our executive, commercial, and defense MROs for all sectors that Embraer operates. And we're so happy to be here. And thanks for having this time with us.
Yeah, it's really great because I've looked at at Embraer grow over the last couple of years, and certainly it's been a company that's been around for how many years now? Is the total?
We're 52 this year.
52 years old, but I've visited Embraer down in South America many times, and I've just seen such a growth and maturity around maintaining and supporting aircraft and putting out aircraft. And so I wanted to have a conversation with you today about really what's important and what you're doing. So where I'd really like to start with is, could you have a little conversation with us about really what are some of the big challenges that you're faced with in the industry today?
Sure. So I think the industry is faced very much with the challenge of labor shortage, and it's more skill shortage than labor shortage. The people are coming around now, but now what's happening is that there's a retirement that we're losing the skill set in the aviation industry, and we have to teach that back to the people again that are coming on into this. So one statistic that I like to use is that for every 12 years of experience we lose, we only get back about 2 months to 2 years worth of experience. And each one of those individuals requires at least 6 months of efficiency training in order to be real efficient in our operation. So we are going out into the market today to go to schools and teach people the Embraer aircraft. You don't just get done with school and understand how to be a technician, but you understand our aircraft and what we can do in order to improve the return to service of aircraft. So there's a lot of money being pushed around the industry, and I think it's not sustainable. I think that we have to really ensure that we're benefiting the employee and not necessarily just their pocketbook, because we have benefits in this organization that outweigh all the financial gains that you can get from just a salary. Especially at Embraer, we joke and say we bleed blue blood at Embraer, and it's truly that's what we do. Is we have a benefit that provided to our employees that goes beyond the salary, and that's really just making sure they're part of the family. People know me for Frank. They don't know that I'm my job or anything like that, and I know my employees, John, Jane, Sally, all those people that work on the aircraft. So we're really trying to drive towards making sure that is part of our forward-looking future. But the next challenge we come up with...
Before you go on to that, I just make a quick comment on that, is that I do think that that's really, really important to put the kind of emphasis that you put into labor and training and helping people to move forward, because I myself personally, I was an A&P mechanic, 30 years ago, and I began to learn the importance of actually being able to do that. And we have seen over the years that the number of people that are focused on being mechanics and doing maintenance has gone down over the years, and we're starting to increase that, and things like what Embraer are doing are increasing that and helping to optimize the people and their engagement and their enthusiasm, and actually what it's costing to be able to do labor. The costs are going down when you're doing that, and I know that's a critical component of what you're doing. So I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
that's really an important part. So you were going to go to your second one.
So our second challenge that we have that we're really working hard on is the supply chain. We're still in the throes of the end of what COVID has delivered to us. Supply chains have been ravaged. We as an OEM always get that call that somebody says, well, you're the OEM, why can't you fix it? So, as the OEM, we drop down into our tiered providers. We have conversations with those people in order to expedite the Embraer product line. We even go down to the subcomponent and the lower tiers. We put people in place to expedite the parts and materials to build the next higher assembly. I mean, it goes to tires and airframe components, and I mean, you name it, there's an issue right now. So we're really trying to dive in at those lower levels to try to expedite the process and really get people back to work. And a lot of it does come from material shortage, but also back to that skilled labor. Is people have kind of migrated away from the industry, and we have to make it cool or sexy again to be back in this industry. And supply chain will start to migrate back up to a higher level. Okay. But it's still a challenge that we're dealing with every day.
And we all know that in the U.S. the markets are very strong. and there's a lot of growing airlines and a lot of aircraft. And so if you're needing to support that greater, how is it that you're really going into that and looking at how do I improve the suppliers for brakes or support, or how are you doing? What are you doing to be able to optimize that today?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the old adage that the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? And we tend on being that squeaky wheel to go to everybody and say, we need support. We need you to step up. We need you to be part of this process. And, it's financially beneficial, aviation beneficial. It's really good for these people to get involved in their futures with Embraer. So we're going in and really buying in. Instead of going to you and saying, Mark, I need you to do this. Hey, Mark, how do I help you do this?
Yeah.
How do we really stand together in front of our customers to support them? Because our customers are not necessarily just the people sitting in the seat. It's us as the internal customers saying, how do I get this out faster? So how do we help you? How can we leverage our partnerships with everybody in the industry to make semiconductors faster?
Yeah.
How do we partner to get you the people that you need to make those? So we're working through that process.
Yeah, that's really tremendously strong. And what I'll say is I've done a lot of business with with Brazil and the people. And one of the things I've found really is that I think that when you're working with an OEM, you find that it's difficult sometimes to engage and have relationships and to be able to optimize what you're doing. And the people that I've worked with, in that region have been very, very strong, very, very powerful. And that has continued to grow around the world, into the United States and into Asia Pacific and all those places. So I really have a compliment to Embraer for their engagement with people. That really makes a big difference. Hey, listen, I wanted to ask a couple questions about projects maybe that you have going on, things like that. I know you have some major projects. Last year, you told me of a few of them, and we talked about them. But what are some of the big projects that you're focusing on this year being made available to people in the industry?
Sure. So the biggest thing that we have is right behind us here is the freighter. This is our Embraer 190-195 conversion. Mm-hmm. We are capturing a market that has a gap in it right now. Is between the turboprop and the mainline aircraft. We're capturing that market. And this conversion process is starting in Brazil. We opened up a new facility in San Jose dos Campos, Brazil, to do this conversion. The first aircraft is there. We're hoping to fly by the end of the year and have certification the following year.
Fantastic. So, I know that market continued to grow over the last couple of years, and there was just a shortage of aircraft. And so, the idea of engaging and doing it and making those kind of, aircraft available, I think is just really good. And I'm glad to see you have people now jumping into that. And if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, to be able to find out about how do we look at the, the cargo program or the conversion or whatever, how do they do that? What's the best?
Well, the best way to do it is right through our website. It's www.embraer.com.
Okay.
And you can research on there, and we'll get the information to you. We also have several people throughout the world. If you're in the Embraer family or you want to be part of it, you can always reach out to any one of us on the leadership team. We have dedicated customer resource people throughout the world. We always like to say that we're a global company, a combination of global and local, because we put people right where you live in order to provide you that resource.
Yeah, well, one thing I have to say is that I'm just always very impressed with the relationships. When you meet people and you talk to people, at Embraer, they just work really hard to be able to engage with you and to be able to have conversations and help you to figure out how to solve your problems and what you're doing. So here at the MRO here today, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you or to reach out?
So walk right up to the booth. We have a wonderful set of people here that can engage you. The front desk folks know exactly who to contact. I'm here all day. The rest of my team is here all day for the next 2 days. And we are engaged. We're at booth 1633. And we're happy to have everybody come and say hi to us.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Very good. Well, listen, I just have to say that I meet with a lot of people at the shows, and I do really find this group, very accepting and very welcoming. And so you definitely need to come by and just have a conversation. You just want to meet some of the strong people that can help you in the business, help you manage your aircraft. If you're looking at new aircraft, there's all kinds of reasons why you would come here. But stop by. You can see Frank or others that are standing here supporting him, and you'll really want to look forward to it. Thanks so much for helping us here.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching today. We're going to be doing more videos today, and so I just say fair winds and following seas to you. Come and see these guys. It'll really be an exciting conversation. Have a great day today. Bye.